The question now is, yesterday we had this discussion already looking at the parkour. Did Pogacar in hindsight make a mistake by launching on Puy-Marie or not?
In hindsight, obviously, yes. In hindsight,
Okay.
yes. Because but we are now equipped with different information. At the time, it looks like he's ending the Tour de France. But I still don't think it was the place to go, frankly. I think if he got into like almost a threshold battle, but then again, he takes all the time on this 10K descent. So like, but still, like maybe it was the right place to go, Benji. He builds up the buffer on the descent. Maybe if he waits to Pertus, he gets straight up dropped by Vingegaard.
It's interesting to me because on one end, by launching on Puy-Marie, it's basically a 1v1 long effort against each other on the climbs with that descent splitting that up. If he attacks on Pertus, it's pacing in the peloton until someone attacks, and in my opinion, outside of Pogacar, nobody else would have made that move on Puy-Marie. So then there would have been a move on Pertus, and then I expect Pogacar to be the one doing it because his domestiques are leading or controlling the race and setting it up. So in hindsight, I agree that Pertus seems like the better option to launch, but this feels a lot like the situation we had last year, where last year after Marie Blanc, Visma thought, okay, we can lug this Tour de France. We've seen a Pogacar that drops on Marie Blanc, so if we go hard on Tourmalet and we smash it, and then we go hard on Cauterets with Wout van Aert from the breakaway as satellite rider for Vingegaard, then on paper, based on what we saw on Marie Blanc the day before, Vingegaard should torch Pogacar. But that didn't happen. And to me, it feels like UAE strategy is a good strategy if you're fighting the Vingegaard we've already seen this race and not the one of last year.
But they should know that he was flying. He followed on San Luca.
Well, you're asking me, but I'm not in the team car.
I know, but I'm not sure it is underestimating Vingegaard, because you could look at it two ways. Maybe him attacking on Puy-Marie and taking the buffer on the descent because he's got the advantage there stops him getting dropped on Pertus. Because like if Vingegaard unleashes, because they still would have done Puy-Marie hard, right? Without the attack. They're still going to do it hard. Maybe Vingegaard...
Yeah, but if they launch on Pertus, is the whole situation that UAE has built up at this point by going for the stage win, you're spending Paul Wellens and Soler before the climbs actually start, and
that's where they start to make mistakes.
Then maybe you use Soler on Néron, and you use Sivakov on Puy-Marie, and on the next climb you can even have Sivakov for a little bit on the bottom of the next climb, and you're basically delaying your domestiques throughout the stage. And then if you don't go for the actual stage, then there's also no bonus seconds to be gained. So then you're betting on Pogacar's attack on Pertus to make separation with Vingegaard that he can keep. So basically the attack he did on Puy-Marie, but to be able to keep it until the finish line.
But that's where I think they did make... So as I said, I think first 150K is really good.
Yeah.
I think the mistakes start when the brake has completely neutralized the brake. The brake cannot win, will not win.
Yeah.
No chance. No chance. 1 minute 40 if 60Ks? No.
Yeah.
Why are they smashing into the base of Néron with like a full lead out with Soler and he pulls off and he's done? Why is Sivakov absolutely full on Néron? Why?
Because based on last year, you would argue that a harder race favors Vingegaard.
Yeah, the brake's in check.
I agree.
But as Poggy said, like it also, if you feel good and you got the legs, then a harder pace suits Poggy too. Like he also wanted to get separation. He also may be thinking, I'm not going to get much help from Ayuso and Almeida, so I don't have the numbers.
Yeah, but I have real issues with it still not being clear in the camp of UAE that everybody should be lining up perfectly to help out Pogacar. The fact that Almeida and Ayuso were not really part of the pacing today shows that there's an issue, not necessarily when it comes to their egos, but when it comes to how the team views they should be used.
So you're saying like theoretically they had more than enough firepower to get Poggy to... Yeah.
They had more than enough teammates to get him towards Petrus. Adam Yates launching means that you're burning Ayuso and Almeida's chances of pacing.
When Adam
he's
Yates
the one that does the lead out, as in like he's the assist, he's the Micah.
Yeah. When Adam Yates does his 4 minutes, there's going to be no more domestique work by anybody after that. Then it's GC riders against each other because on those gradients. So yeah, you're right. Like it should have been Ayuso. Again, I don't know the answer. This is all hypothetical. And also, no, like it's impossible to know.
That's also kind of why it's useful that a team works together before you get to the Tour de France, that they ride together before the Tour de France, so you kind of know what order you got to put them in, no?
Yeah, like Yates clearly, like as we saw in San Luca, he dropped all his other teammates. Like when Yates is a lead out, it's going to be 10 guys or less. Like Yates is so strong on these efforts.